We are currently focusing on new ways of designing the programs of SBE, taking into account the changing needs of students and the way we want to work as teachers. Well, we noticed that technology has changed a lot and is asking us to adapt our education to new learning technologies. We also noticed that issues of globalization and complexity in society are forcing us to rearrange our programs, to make them more challenging and to give students more opportunities to work together with students from different programs and different disciplines. Well, just to give you an idea, knowledge is everywhere. So knowledge is everywhere if you use Google or whatever search engine. And so the question is how we can help students to develop a better understanding of business, economics and econometrics using all those rich kinds of knowledge sources. The thing is not whether MOOCs are a great idea, yes or no. But it's much more an idea of how you use technology so that students are prepared when they get into the classroom. What we also know from all meetings we had with students is they just enjoy meeting other students. They're also telling us that sometimes they would say to us, get rid of the technology. We are not in the classroom because of the technology, but it's just a tool to help us prepare for the classroom. So that's an important element in it. The other important element is that it's not about the technology itself, but developing digital literacy. So if knowledge is everywhere, then how can I judge the quality of the information which is offered to them? And how can I incorporate that in my skill and expertise to become a good worker in the fields of business or economics or econometrics? I was always fascinated by the whole idea what makes people learn, what makes some people great experts in their field. And I'm convinced that the science of education has much to offer in improving current learning approaches, and that students can enjoy the wisdom of those sciences, and that SBE is a place for wisdom, but also enjoying that you're here and enjoying doing research and doing projects and working with other students. And that's kind of my passion, to help them out on this. Well, one of the pain points with university education in general is that we have become factories of knowledge. So it's scale size. It's about that students are sometimes missing a sense of belonging, that we care about them. It's also an issue that there is so much knowledge nowadays that you can't cover all the knowledge in your programs anymore, so you need to be selective. And then the question is, what kind of choices do you need to make to help them out? And how can we prepare them for a world which is growingly complex and complicated, and in such a way that they consider us as a place which help them to deal with all those changes. Well, the way we started working was that we said, don't focus that much on teaching methods only. It's not the teaching method is this single goal, but start thinking about what are the needs our students are having, and how can we help them in meeting our ambitions, and in such a way that it supports their learning. That was the starting point of the whole discussion. And then we said, let's face it, they are changing. And then the question is that it's not that things are going for the better or for the worse, but they are different now. And then the question is, how can we support them in learning, and where is our value added to all of this? And from the focus group meetings we had with students, the story we always got was basically the same. They wanted better feedback, they want more feedback on their learning, they want to get in closer contact with teachers, with other students. They enjoy being here and working together on projects. And for us, so the question was how can we incorporate all those things they are mentioning in a new pedagogy? And the other is, but we have ambitions as well, what we want to achieve with our students, so how can we make it fit? And that's the current discussion we are having within our task force. So we have a great group of people in our task force, and they represent basically a wide range of disciplines of SBE. And the thing I noticed, they're all very passionate about what they're doing, and they love to work with students. And they're also very creative in seeking for new ways in helping our students. And we had a lot of fun actually in redoing and redesigning the whole programs. And time was just flying when we had our meetings. And so I noticed that it's not an issue that we lack the passion, but it's more a matter of how we can find a good approach for dealing with scarce resources, lack of time, and decide that, and the fact that whatever we decide, it has a huge impact on our school because we are a large school. But I'm sure we can do it because it's a great bunch of people. The next step will be is now that we have presented our work to our larger community within SBE, and there we noticed that our ideas were very well received. So the next step is now from moving from, let's say, a vision you have on how it could be, and now that we agree on the analysis, to give our ideas, I would say, more beef, in such a way that our ideas can be transformed into practice, and that our colleagues still have sufficient degrees of freedom in making their own ideas. So the next step will be is we will develop a framework which the faculty can use to sketch new programs and new courses. And of course, and then the following step is that we need to get in touch with other project groups to see how our ideas connect to their ideas. Well, if you talk about timeframes for implementing whatever kind of change, you always talk about 5 years. So my experience is, with all the work I've done with other universities, they just take 5 to 7 years before doing it. And what I also notice in my work is that many other universities are adopting our views on education and working on their own ways for problem-based learning. But the things which can't be copied is the culture of a school. And what I noticed with SBE is we still have a very strong entrepreneurial spirit. And the thing we discussed in our task group is that it's all about whether we have the courage to take risk. Because in a way, we need to modify the things we're very good at, which are very well received by our students. But we know that we need to make those steps. And that's a risk, because you never know whether the outcome is as good in the beginning as the things we had to. And so we need to take our colleagues out of our comfort zone and to support them. So it's about risk-taking, taking our students very serious and doing research on what we are doing, whether it's the right way, yes or no. So that would be, in short, my strategy. I would call it a success if we are in the rankings, #1, and it's very tough for our colleagues to copy what we are doing. I would call it a success if students feel like, and they give us the feedback, this was a great place to be, so thank you very much. That they decide that our master programs are reflecting the spirit we have introduced in our bachelor programs. And when the labor market responds in a very positive way about what we are doing. And last but not least, if teachers enjoy their job within SBE. Education can never get better than your teachers. So we need to invest in our teachers, give them all the support they need, take it seriously, knowing that there are many other incentives for putting your time on research, consultancy, and whatever. And so the core message is it's all about our teachers, and if that's been arranged, the rest will just follow.